right? How do we know when two matrices are equal? Well, right, if I had two matrices that are equal, what's true about the matrices? Each corresponding entry has to be the same, right? So that led to a couple of homework problems that would be something like, you know, X is here and 4 is here. That tells you X is 4. It has to be, right? Maybe these are both 3. And maybe this one says Y plus 1, and over here it says 2Y minus 3. What does that tell you? Y plus 1 must equal 2Y minus 3. And you can solve for the Y. Okay. And now I'll just make that 6 and 6. So two matrices are equal when the corresponding elements or entries are equal. Okay. We're supposed to know how to add, subtract, multiply by a scalar. What's a scalar? Just one number, right? Just a constant. And to multiply matrices. A lot of this stuff now, if you know how to do it in the calculator, you could just do it in the calculator. By all means, you know, just say, I'm doing this in the calculator. You could enter all the matrices and then do the math on the screen and put your answer. As long as you enter it correctly, you'll be right. What do we mean by the order of a matrix? Okay, what is that? For example, if I said 3 by 2, what does that mean? 3 rows, 2 columns, right? It's rows by columns. Okay, and when is it that we can't add matrices? Now, I'm not talking about multiply. I'm saying what has to be true if you add matrices? They have to have the same order, right? They got to be exactly the same. You know, you can add a 3 by 2 to a 3 by 2, but you can't add a 3 by 2 to a 2 by 3 because they don't have all corresponding entries to add, right? So in order to add, you know, to add, orders must be the same. If they're not the same, I mean, if you put them in the calculator and try to do that addition, it's going to give you an error. I think it'll say mismatch as to error. What has to be true in order to multiply two matrices? Now, Makai. So give me an example of of multiplying orders. 2 by 3 times 3 by 2. Can you multiply that? Yes. Because why? Because these two match, you can multiply. Okay. What will be the order of the result? 2 by 2. Right. So it'll equal a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay. If these two don't match, then you can't multiply them. If you try, you're going to get an error message. So they don't have to have the same order, right? They just have to have those two match up, and then you can multiply them. But they don't have to have the exact same order.